Welcome to the BEASTwriter podcast. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be discussing the blockbuster deal between the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins for Pro Bowl left tackle Trent Williams. So let's get down to business. For those who don't know, the move was made in a concerted effort to replace left tackle Joe Staley. Staley announced his retirement earlier today due to health concerns. A three-time second-team All-Pro stemming from 2011 to 2013 under Jim Harbaugh, Staley was a rock on the left side. However, his production has since declined as injuries started to pile up, missing 13 games in the last 4 years. But when healthy, Staley was one of the best at protecting the blind side, and what John Lynch would consider today a foundational piece. So with Staley removed, what do the 49ers do? They replace one All-Pro with another by trading for left tackle Trent Williams, something I alluded to back on November 9th when a fan on Twitter asked me what was up with his situation in Washington. So the 49ers get the player known as Silverback while giving up a 2021 third round pick and swapping fifth rounders in earlier today's draft. So if you're doing the math, that's now two third round picks that John Lynch has given up in exchange for a veteran player. The first one obviously being Emmanuel Sanders. So what's the return on their investment? No offense to Staley, but it's an immediate upgrade from a production standpoint. In my opinion, Williams is a top 5 offensive tackle all day, every day. Give me Trent Williams, he'll show you the way. Why? There's a million different reasons why, but first, let's go into it from a pro personnel standpoint, why the pick was made and why the move was made in the first place. Well, if you look at this year's draft, everyone knows about the Big Four. You had Tristan Wirfs, you had Andrew Thomas, you had guys like Jedrick Wills, you had Mekhi Becton. All these guys were going to fly off the board in the first few picks, and when the 49ers were picking at their spot, you had to believe that they knew going into it that Joe Staley would no longer be with the team. It's kind of common sense. I'm pretty sure they asked him, hey, what's your situation? And that's why Mayoko reported, he may not be there. And now we know why. And now we know why that we follow Mayoko, because Mayoko knows he's the insider, right? But getting back to the Trent Williams trade, what do I like about Trent Williams' game? He's a mauler in the run game. He plays with a nasty mean streak that hasn't been seen along the 49ers offensive line since Larry Allen, who by the way also wears number 71. He neutralizes opposing D's best edge run defender practically in his sleep due to his power, strength, and arm length. And the guy has the win first mentality, something that is needed in that 49ers culture if they're in it to win it, man. I remember having a conversation with former 49ers offensive line coach Chris Forrester during pregame warmups, which I do with all the coaches before the game, just wishing them luck, talking to them as I do throughout the week. And I asked him, I said, hey, who's the best offensive lineman you ever coached? And he looks at me, he says, what? I said, yeah. He's like, that's a random question. And I said, yeah, it's a good one, right? He's like, yeah. And then he goes, no, not really. I said, why? He says, because it's easy. I said, who is it? He said, Trent Williams, Silverback. He said, there's a reason they call him Silverback. And I said, man, I agree with you. And that was a conversation that would always stick in my mind. Now he's off to San Francisco. What are the odds, right? Everything comes in full circle. Trent Williams is the real deal. The 49ers get a top 5 offensive tackle at a premium position. If you can get a premium player at a premium position, that's all you can ask for. However, there are drawbacks to making this deal. Williams is playing in the last year of his contract, and there's no guarantee he's going to re-sign with the team. Could he be another one-year rental like Emmanuel Sanders, giving up valuable draft capital for a player that's only going to play one season? Who knows? But John Lynch gave some insight on that very question. As I look at my notes, he said, I think the plan was to land him right now and then let the rest kind of work itself out. Did you hear that? Let me repeat that. I think the plan was to land him right now and then let the rest kind of work itself out. Right tackle Mike McGlinchey, the plan was to play him at right tackle early on in his career. In fact, many of us beat writers, meaning look for this to be a one and done type of deal. Secondly, should he sign somewhere else, there's no guarantee that the 49ers will receive a third round compensatory pick. And here's why. There's a lot of factors that figure into the algorithm of selecting compensatory picks. And I'm going to list them for you. And I'm going to lay it out for you. Here are some factors that weigh into that decision. Performance, percentage of snaps played, off-season awards, APY in the contract, which stands for annual per year. How much is the guy making each year annually? And of course, last but not least, the plus-minus differential from free agents signed for players lost. And here's some food for thought. In the event that Williams has a severe injury or a decline in production that would severely hamper his percentage of snaps played and will certainly factor in the CFA formula. Remember guys, Williams is 31 and hasn't played a snap since 2018, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Not to mention, he was suspended 4 games back in 2016 for violating the league's substance abuse policy, and then the following year in 2017 missed 6 games due to a nagging knee injury. So at the end of the day, it's a gamble, but one that I'm in favor of, because the Super Bowl window is now. And for those who are wondering why Shanahan is so adamant about keeping right tackle Mike McGlinchey on that right side, that's who Mike McGlinchey is. Because if they felt that he could possibly move to the left side, now would be the time to pull the trigger. It's the off season. And no more excuses about these moving parts. Well, if McGlinchey moves to the left side, who's going to play the right side? Who's going to kick inside? No. Let's just stop that. Alright, it is what it is. Just call it what it is. Mike McGlinchey is solely a right tackle, which is why you brought Trent Williams to be the left tackle, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, who wouldn't want McGlinchey and Trent Williams as your anchors on the line? I'm not hating. And in today's NFL, playing right tackle or left tackle really doesn't matter because edge rushers come from the weak side and the strong side. So it really makes no difference whether you play right or left as long as you keep the pass rushers at bay. That's just my opinion. So maybe traditionally in years past, a blindside left tackle would be more beneficial because you're protecting the quarterback's blind side and it's easier on the quarterback for his time clock in his head if he had a stable left tackle. But, times have changed. Times have changed. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my analysis and insights. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below and spread the word to all your family and friends. Stay up to date on all things Beast. Take care. Have a good night. Peace.